All right, going to do a race recap with the Turbo Camaro. So we did end up going out yesterday. Made some passes. Things didn't really go the way we wanted. I'll just start off where we started off. First pass, just had my kind of typical pretty lazy tune-up in it that we've been running. That went like 840 something, 847 at 160. Like I said, pretty lazy tune-up, A to B, 131 60 foot, which is also pretty lazy. So hey, we just wanted to get a shakedown, see where we started. So that was all right. Spark plug looked pretty decent. I went ahead and pulled a little bit of fuel out of the low boost because I had added a little bit before we went to the track. So took that back out because the 60 foot was a little lazy. It should have been a little better than that. So did that, went up for the second pass, left with 1 more pound of boost on the launch and kind of added some boost everywhere. Launched, and I'll recap this 2 different ways. So we launched and felt good. It shook the tire a little bit, probably about 40 to 60 foot out, but powered right through it. Seemed like a pretty decent A to B pass. Well, I noticed right as I launched, the red light had came on, and the long story short there is I got mile per hour on that pass only and nothing else because something had blown through the 60 foot marker and tripped. So it just kind of completely screwed up the timing system. Kind of stunk for sure because that was definitely a solid pass. Honestly, I don't know. If I had to guess, it was probably a low 30 or high 20. I mean, nothing crazy, but it was a decent pass. But that whole scenario kind of stunk. Basically, we were supposed to make a solo pass, and then the last second they decided to let someone else run with us. Not an issue. I go in, light the first bulb, and the other guy, of course, drives in both bulbs. Guys just love to double bulb turbo cars, and it always annoys me. Especially in this scenario. It's like an 11, 12-second car. Nothing wrong with those cars. I have them. But why are you trying to mess with a guy that's so much faster than you? Like, I'm just trying to get a good pass, and they just love to double bulb me. But, again, it wasn't an issue. I got it to build boost in time. I bounced in under the 7 seconds. All 4 bulbs are lit. I'm sitting there popping and banging. My foot was actually on the brake pedal and the trans brake just to make sure the car doesn't rock, and the red light came on. So basically they told me something blew through the beams. Not anything on anyone's fault, but it's just always annoying when these guys double bulb us. Honestly, at this point, I can't count how many times it's happened, and I'm sure they'll continue. With that being said, I think I'm going to loosen up the converter 200 RPM to help it spool up just a little bit quicker. That way, when we get double bulbed, we're never worried about it. We can always make it in time. So, yep, a little bit of a reminder there. But, like I said, kind of stunk. We didn't get any numbers on that pass. So, third pass, I tightened up the rear shocks a little bit since it shook the tire, and added some more power. That was the whole point of going out, is we're trying to kind of get after it, put some power to it. So the third pass was on 22 pounds, and it shook the tire / spun the tire. Basically, it went a 138 60 foot, which is horrible. You can't go fast with a 60 foot like that. You know, I've been 122, 121. I really need to be that 118, 117 range. I'm sure we'll get it there, but it's going to take everything going perfect. So yeah, on that pass we went 134, like 133.89 to the 8th and 165 out the back. But again, our 60 foot was horrible, so that kind of kills our ET. So I went back after that pass, put the carburetor back the original way it was. So basically it went 127 60 foot on 6 pounds at our local track the way the carburetor normally is. So I leaned it back out up front, put it back the way it was. It's the only thing we'd ever changed since then. And put the rear shocks the way they were, loosened up the front shocks one click to help it kind of travel, make sure it doesn't spin. And I added some more boost. Should have made probably 23 or 24 pounds on this next pass. And basically we get up there and the track was way busier than what I expected. Basically it's probably one of the last test and tunes of the year, so it seemed like everyone was out. Basically the staging lanes were a bit of a cluster. I waited up there for about 30 minutes. Probably the last 10 minutes they were kind of telling us, hey, you're the next car, and it was just a cluster. Long story short, we finally make it up there. We do a burnout and we're pulling up to stage and it starts to sprinkle rain, and it is just barely sprinkling at this moment. There's not enough water on the track at all to affect anything. And of course they wave us off, and I'm kind of looking at the guy like, come on, and he's waving me off, and then the other guy comes up. I'm like, dude, just let me make this pass. No, they won't. So we shut it off. We wait a few minutes. And it really just kind of continues to sprinkle for about 3 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And then it stops. Well, at that point, they had already pulled the tree, and that was it for the day. So we got back, loaded the car up, and what kind of stinks is we were there for another hour. It never rained. That was it. So cut our time short by about 4 or 5 hours of test and tune. So really didn't get any good passes in, but sometimes that's the way it goes. We did pick up some mile an hour. Not a new best. We've gone faster, but we were creeping up on it. Nothing broke. It just didn't go the way we wanted. We really got 2 passes in. So it's kind of a long trip to make 2 passes, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Spark plugs were looking good. Nothing's hurt. So yeah, kind of is what it is. But got some data. I know some things I need to improve on, and we'll continue to work at it. The only thing that kind of really sucked is on our way home, so it's about a 2.5 hour drive home, we had an ambulance pull out in front of us off a side street, and we had to swerve kind of last second, and that was a little sketchy, but nothing crazy. Everything was all good. We got out of the ambulance's way. Well, we get home, and I go to unload the car, and the toolbox in the trailer had actually sheared the bolts and broke loose and tipped over. That sucked. So it happened there, and again, it could have been a lot worse. Is, if you look, got the bumper cover here, gouged it pretty good. Got this here and here and here and here and a few other spots across the front, down lower. Kind of stretched this gap out a little bigger. It is what it is, honestly. I've wanted to repaint the car for a while, and I keep going back and forth. It's just another excuse for me to just repaint it this winter. So I got to figure out something there. I don't like body work. I've painted, well, me and my dad painted the nose and the hood and the doors and the rear spoiler. But I really don't like body work. So I don't know. I got to figure out a plan there, but I'd really like to get it painted this winter. I'll probably just buy a new front bumper cover. Honestly, I might buy a new hood or see about fixing this hole in this hood. This was from the old turbo setup. So, no, it's just a reminder to me. Yeah, it's probably time to repaint this thing. The rear quarters have got some dents in them. So, yeah, we'll get it straightened up this winter, and that's kind of motivation to take care of that. But no, it really just wasn't our day. We just had a few things kind of between the rain and the timing system and then the toolbox. It was a bit of a rough day, but it always could have been a lot worse. So I'm not too upset about anything. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure if we'll get another track outing or not. I really probably need to put rear tires on the car. They've got at least 25 passes on them. At this power level, those 28s don't last too long, so that'll probably be one of the next things. But it's tough to buy new tires going into winter. Just kind of hate to do that. I do have a set of the 275 Pro bracket radials. I'm tempted to put those on and make some rear suspension adjustments. The only way they're going to work, though, is, on radial prep. So if something comes up radial prep, I could put those on, and we could kind of try that. But it's really about the only thing tire-wise I have left. I got a good set of 26s, but that's not going to help us much. So I don't know. The 26s are tempted, to be honest with you. They have less of a sidewall, and I've got plenty of gear in the car. So as I say that, it is possible that I put the 26s on it. We'll see. Just wanted to give you guys a race recap. We're picking up some mile an hour. We're getting back to about where we were. We're getting close, I should say. But no new personal bests yet. And we'll see how this year rounds out. I'd like to get it out once more, but I do have a few other things I need to work on. So I can't take this thing out every weekend, and I can't take it out next weekend. I've got too much going on. So hopefully we'll get at least one more outing with it, and we'll go from there. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll get back with you guys. Thanks.